Chapter 6318. Steve said, "Since Aurus Hill is fine, I will prepare to come back to see you as soon as possible." "Okay," Simon said with satisfaction. "When you come back, we will hold a banquet to entertain those collateral families, and once again deepen their gratitude and dependence on us. This will also lay a good foundation for your future inheritance of the family." Steve quickly said in a very grateful tone, "Thank you, Father. Thank you for your hard work." When he said this, Steve cursed in his heart, and said depressedly, "You are so sanctimonious. Do you want to fool me into being the so-called designated heir? If Charlie can let you live another 50 years, you will not be able to let me become the patriarch in the next 49 years. It is better to rely on Charlie than on my biological father." After Steve exchanged some polite words with his father on the phone, he hung up and called Charlie quickly. At this time, Charlie was driving to Zijin Villa. 10 minutes ago, Maria sent him a message saying that there were some new clues and asked him to come to Zijin Villa for a chat. In addition, the thoughtful Maria also prepared tea and dinner and invited Charlie. He quickly agreed. As soon as the call was connected, Steve hurriedly said, "Mr. Wade, my father called and asked me to go back. It seems that I can't stay with you and share your worries." Charlie smiled and said, "I don't have any worries for you to share for now. Since he asked you to go back, you should go back quickly." Steve hurriedly said, "Mr. Wade, can I treat you to a meal before that?" Charlie said, "No need for a meal, just give it in cash." Steve was stunned and chuckled twice, saying, "Mr. Wade, you have got the wits. I really want to treat you to a meal, and I hope you can do me the honor." Charlie asked him, "When are you going back?" Steve said, "If there is nothing important, I should go back tomorrow. Otherwise, it will be difficult to explain to my father. In his impression, I must leave immediately." Charlie said, "Then let's do it at noon tomorrow, Classic Mansion." Steve said excitedly, "Great. Then let's do it at noon tomorrow at Classic Mansion." "Okay," Charlie said. "See you tomorrow. I have something else, so I'll hang up first." "Okay, Mr. Wade, see you tomorrow." The weather was getting colder, and there were few green leaves on Zijin Mountain. Except for some pine trees, most of the trees had lost their leaves, leaving only bare trunks and branches. When Charlie came to Maria's top-floor living space in Zijin Mountain Villa, he was shocked to find that the PUT mother that he had brought back from Genchi Lake was still growing lushly, with many more leaves than before, and they were also much larger. Maria, who looked like a girl, was guarding the PUT mother at this time, boiling tea next to it over a low fire, and at the same time roasting some ginkgo nuts on the stove, which exuded a faint burnt aroma. Seeing Charlie coming in, she smiled like a flower and said happily, "Young master, please take a seat. I have already made tea and am waiting for you." Charlie nodded and sat down on the stool in front of her. Maria carefully picked up a few roasted yellow ginkgo nuts from the iron net of the oven. The temperature of the nuts was high, so she didn't dare to hold them all the time. So she hurriedly switched them between her two hands, as if she was juggling, after switching the nuts back and forth between her hands several times. The temperature dropped a little, so she held the nuts to her mouth, blew on them with her cherry lips, and then peeled one of them and handed it to Charlie's mouth, saying with expectation, "Young master, try it. I just picked it up from the mountain at noon." Charlie couldn't refuse her kindness, so he opened his mouth and ate one. It was bitter and fragrant, and quite chewy, which was a different taste. Just after eating one, Maria peeled a few more and handed them over, then poured Charlie a cup of tea. Her delicate hands had not been idle since Charlie entered the room. Charlie took a sip of tea, then put down the teacup and asked her, "You said there are new clues. What are they?" Maria said, "The shipping company in Singapore that the young master found out earlier has been sold to a French company. The French side seems to be very anxious. As soon as the company was changed, they couldn't wait to use the company's aircraft to start transportation. Charlie frowned. Hasn't the Warriors Den entered a dormant period? Why did they suddenly sell the airline? Maria said, this is also what I can't figure out. Logically, the Warriors Den is not short of money. So there is no need to sell the company. Moreover, this company is their core transportation capacity for global transportation. And now it is a dormant period, so they shouldn't make such a move. So I suspect that they have realized that the airline is no longer safe.